Imagine sitting around a campfire in the middle of the most breathtaking wilderness you have ever seen. Mountains, geysers, waterfalls, and wildlife as far as the eye can reach. And someone looks at you and says, "We could own all of this, every single acre." And you say, "No, we are going to give it to everyone forever." Stay with me until the end, because this is the story of one of the most generous and visionary decisions ever made in American history. And it starts with a campfire, a geyser, and a group of men who almost missed the whole thing. It is the fall of 1870, and a small group of explorers sets out into the remote wilderness of what will one day be Wyoming. They have heard the rumors: boiling springs, exploding geysers, pools of color that should not exist in nature, waterfalls that drop hundreds of feet into roaring canyons. Most people back east think the stories are exaggerated, maybe even invented. But these men, led by explorer Henry Washburn and guided by a former soldier named Nathaniel Langford, decide to find out for themselves. What they find stops them cold. Geysers shoot boiling water 100 feet into the air, hot springs glowing with impossible shades of blue, orange, and green. A canyon so vast and so vivid, it looks like something painted by a dreaming giant. And then there is the one they cannot stop watching. Every hour or so, with a deep rumble and a rush of steam, a particular geyser launches itself skyward with breathtaking regularity. Not sometimes, not randomly, every single time, like clockwork. One of the explorers, a man named Henry Washburn, watches it erupt again and again with the same faithful precision. And he gives it a name that will last 150 years: Old Faithful. Not because it is the biggest, not because it is the loudest, but because it shows up every single time, without fail, faithful. Now, here is where the story takes a turn that changes everything. As the expedition winds down, the men sit together around a campfire near the Madison River, and someone raises a question that feels almost too big for a campfire conversation. What do we do with this place? Because here is the thing. In 1870, the law is simple. Breathtaking land like this can be claimed, divided up, sold, turned into resorts and private estates for the wealthy. These men know that. Some of them are already thinking about it. But then one man speaks up. His name is Cornelius Hedges, a lawyer and judge from Montana. And what he says that night is remarkable in its simplicity. This place should belong to no one, so that it can belong to everyone. The conversation shifts, the mood shifts, and one by one, the men around that fire begin to agree. This wilderness should not be owned. It should be protected, preserved, given as a gift to every American and to every person who comes after them forever. What happens next moves faster than anyone expects. Nathaniel Langford travels the country giving lectures about what they found. Artists and photographers join later expeditions and bring the images back to a stunned public. And Congress, convinced by the evidence and the passion of these explorers, acts with unusual speed. On March 1st, 1872, President Ulysses S. Grant signed the Yellowstone National Park Protection Act into law. And with a single stroke of a pen, something that had never existed anywhere in the world comes into being. The first national park on Earth. Not a private estate, not a resort for the wealthy, a park for the people, all of them. Today, more than 4 million people visit Yellowstone every single year. Families from every state and every country. Children see a geyser erupt for the first time and grab whoever is standing next to them because they simply cannot contain the wonder. And Old Faithful, still showing up, still faithful. More than 1 million eruptions since Henry Washburn gave it its name, and it has never once missed its cue. A campfire conversation. A pocket watch. a name given to a geyser by a tired explorer who was simply paying attention, and a decision made in the dark by ordinary men that gave something extraordinary to every person who would ever come after them. And that makes me think about you, about the stories and the gifts that only you can pass forward. Because those explorers did not just preserve a wilderness that night, they preserved a story. The story of what it feels like to stand somewhere so beautiful it takes your breath away, and to choose to share it rather than keep it. What stories are you preserving? What have you witnessed, survived, celebrated, and loved that only you can describe? Your children and grandchildren will stand somewhere one day and wish they knew more about where they came from, about the people who came before them, about the campfire conversations that shaped the family they belonged to. Those men around the campfire in 1870 had no idea their decision would still be echoing 150 years later. You have no idea how far your stories will travel either, but they will. Stories always do. If today's story sparks something in you, then you are exactly where you belong. History Sparks is here every single day, finding the real, the human, the breathtaking stories that remind us why the past still matters right now. This community is growing every single day, and we want you to be part of it. Hit subscribe, come back tomorrow, and bring someone who loves a story worth telling. Before you go, I have been thinking about something, and I would love your honest opinion. I am working on a free guide created just for History Sparks subscribers that will help you write your own family stories. Your memories, the people who shaped you, the moments that only you carry. A simple, warm, step-by-step guide to capturing your legacy in your own words for the people who will love you long after you are gone. No writing experience needed, no pressure, just your stories, your voice, and the legacy that only you can leave behind. Would you want something like that? Drop a yes in the comments right now and let me know, because just like Old Faithful, some things are worth showing up for, every single time.